February of 2020, I went to stay in a beautiful villa in Bulgaria with various lovely female friends. And as I have been doing since I was in my early teens, wrote lots and lots of entries in my current diary, or my diary for that year, which ultimately became a book. And this is the book it became. So I'm going to be reading a couple of entries from February of 2020. There were, I think, 5 of us women on this adventure. I'm not going to name names because that would be invidious, but I'm just going to give you a flavour of what it was like to be with lovely women, enjoying water and good food and plenty of laughter. So, Monday, the 10th of February. I sit at the big, long table and look out at sun and blue sky and dots of bright colour, as if solar power had bestowed the gift of small festive lights upon the washing line's end post. My hair has formed natural ringlets after the day spent at Varvara. The afternoon and evening turned into complete hilarity and female bonding. We set off to the train station at Septembre so that we could pick up the others after their night on the tiles. The sky was beginning to melt into pink and gold and purple and spread out at the edges, and the view as we walked onto the platform was gorgeous, with the blushing of the mountains I associate with Rethymno. And here is a photograph taken at the time of the station. We all crammed into the car, myself and 2 others stashed in the back, the other 2 in snuggly fur coats and looking like bears, then set off for Semchinovo, laughing and wisecracking. All of a sudden, or so it seemed, we came up behind a classic relic of Eastern Europe, and the car was pretty ancient as well, meandering its way along the road at about 2 miles an hour. A venerable old geezer sat bolt upright in the driving seat, and a minuscule Roma granny was hunched to his right. Wonderful to see old-fashioned indicators and so forth, but after a while, proceeding at a pace that would have made a hearse look like Formula One, and being overtaken by dogs, cats, invalid, and the dead, it all became somewhat tedious. So our gallant driver gunned the engine, and we roared past the elderly parties in their antediluvian vehicle. We were all laughing hysterically by then. I managed to take a photo, too blurred to share, you might be glad to know, just before we swept past the overtaken by corpse-mobile. Hilarious. Back home, we made a delicious concoction of meat, aubergine, tomato, pepper, onion, garlic, with rice and grated cheese. It was gurtlush, as we say in the West Country. Post-food, we all lounged around in the living room with a fire crackling and spitting, and laughed, chatted, shared details of past relationships and so forth, until tiredness overcame us, and severally we sloped off to bed. Bedtime writing. It is so bright and sparkly here that the sun appears in some of the photos I take, akin to revisiting pictures drawn as a very small child. And the purple-blue mountains, so essential somehow to my soul. That unclouding I mention in Underkada Idris, and the protective circle they appear to manifest around us, as if the rock were malleable and moved, oozing into new positions when our metaphorical backs were turned. But there is also a strange comfort in the molecules of their physical presence, their adamantine rockiness, and the way they ascend, often patterned by clinging trees, like an arboreal tapestry to the heavens. I sit at one end of the table, the others are dotted around the room. I love the sense of shifting sisterhood, that I have my blood sisters, and now the lovely women met since moving to Glastonbury. Tuesday, the 11th of February. It is 5:30 in the morning, and I am sleepless, fretful, sitting up in bed writing this, that heavy golden moon still full, potent, a gilded metallic breast hanging in the sky, we puny humans suckling at it, drawing out its peculiarly resonant and painful wisdom as it bowls through velvety dark sky, leaving milky stains, weighty wings of dark cloud. Something in it is relentless, taunting, creating hysterical laughter one moment and the dull hammer blow of sickening recognition the next. And a little bit later, beautiful morning, and looking out of the window, I see spring trees thrusting up into the limitless bowl-shaped pudenda of the sky, or so it seems to a woman with male-female attractiveness on her mind, ejaculating seeds of hope, such warmth seeping into bones through my pale green jumper and drying post-shower ringlets. We went to the wonderful Turkish truck stop last night and had the most hilarious drive out there. 3 of us were squished, giggling in the back. Witticisms were fizzing and flowing like wine. That huge teasing moon, tempting and testing, was showering us with golden sparkles and tickling our funny bones darkly. Fabulous. I am absolutely knackered, but wow, what a day. And then I'm going to just show you a photo of self. You'll see the relevance of that in a minute. Wednesday, the 12th of February. Oh, yesterday was a delight and a revelation. The sisterhood did Plovdiv. Was Plovdiv ready for a group of sassy women? Who knows? Some denizens were, others possibly found us a tad OTT, loud, big and brassy, boldly taking up space, both physical and emotional, denied us far too long. We walked 3, 4, 5 abreast, laughing and lounging near our Bulgarian alter egos, or possibly older selves. Mine a splendid old dear, with white roots splayed out all over her orange hair and a penchant for begging. We gawped at the colourful and eclectic street art, swept into an ancient mosque, and heads covered by hoods and scarves were shown around by a bewhiskered, dentally challenged little man, whose vocabulary consisted largely of the phrase, "no problem," a man who later placed paper towels on the cold steps so that I could put my DMs back on, not sure whether this was to protect me from hemorrhoids or the sacred steps from my fleshy heathen posterior. Rose shops were stepped into, and that wondrous scent inhaled. Conversations of a decidedly below-the-belt nature sniggered over. Photos were taken of Plovdiv's soaring buildings and the alleyways through which the setting sun and snow-capped mountains peaked. The long slog up to the magical amphitheatre was made, and the superb view over Plovdiv and out to the mountains, all seen through sudden spiteful squalls of rain. And to be fair, our first grim weather since arriving in this beautiful place. The excitement and utter hilarity of our planned hairstyling, filming session caused girlish giggles. So that was it. A little snatch of that particular wonderful week in Semchinovo and our visit to Plovdiv. So there you go. Why not read the book? Thank you. Bye.